It's your boy Dariel once again. Sorry for a little bit of tardiness, and sorry that Chris and Matt can't be here. But of course, it's another Friday, and of course, we had to give you another happy hour. And for today's episode, I strictly want to focus on the upcoming matchup that we have against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Of course, it's a rematch from last week's loss that we took in OKC. And I think this is actually a pretty big game. I think it's a pretty big game for the Knicks. But before we get into all that, before I talk about what Josh Hart said during his podcast with Jalen Brunson, the roommate show, I had a brain fart for a second. Sorry about that. I'm out in LA. If you guys have been watching, if you guys have been watching the Knicks Digest YouTube channel since I started, I've been in LA for literally about a year now. There's been a lot of wildfires going on. You guys have seen that in the news. Just wanted to give you guys an update. I'm actually nowhere near those wildfires, so I'm perfectly fine. I have no worries. Unfortunately, there are some people in LA that are going through really, really horrific stuff. So I just wanted to, give them my support. Shout out to them. Shout out to the firefighters that are out in LA just fighting the fires. It's pretty scary stuff out here. I'm sure some of you guys have seen what's going on through the internet. But I'm fine, which is why I kind of wanted to hop on the live, because I kind of just want to get my mind away from that. Even though I'm in LA, I'm nowhere near it. I see people every day just on the street and people are talking about it. So I kind of wanted to get my mind away from that, which is why I'm giving you the live. But again, I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters in LA fighting the wildfires and really putting their lives at risk for us, for the people in LA. So salute to y'all. But for now, what I want to do, I want to switch from that into what I talked about in the beginning of this video, the matchup against OKC. Yeah, man, listen, last week we took the L to OKC. I wasn't able to give a post-game analysis on that game because I was only able to see the first half. I had prior obligations. But tonight, my whole undivided attention is going to be on this game. I want to see if we're going to come with the type of energy where we took an L to one of, if not the best team in the NBA. And Jalen Brunson, I remember right before that game, there was a little bit of hesitancy regarding Jalen Brunson playing. It was questionable all up until game time decision. And I believe for him, it was a calf little injury, calf tightness, I think it was. He ended up playing, Cat played, OG played, Josh Hart played, and we ended up taking the L. So one of the better teams, but after I finished my obligations, I was able to watch the highlights, and I remember seeing that we were up when it was pretty late in the game. I want to say fourth quarter, maybe even halfway through the fourth quarter. We had a decent sized lead, or maybe it was tied up. I don't remember. It's a little fuzzy. It's literally a week ago. And on top of that, with everything that's been going on, there's been a lot of other stuff on my mind. But from what I can remember right now in this moment is that we were in the game with probably halfway to go in the fourth quarter, and then OKC had its run. Jalen Williams, SGA, is proving why he's the MVP in my opinion this year. But yeah, man, I specifically tonight in today's game, I want to see us go out there and really have an edge to us. Josh Hart and the roommate show, I was looking at the clips. And I think during one of the clips, he was just saying how that loss that they took in OKC, it was a good measuring stick to see where they were. And I think Josh Hart said that they're just not where they want to be right now. And then on top of that, that was the first game of their 3-game losing streak. It was Friday, OKC. And then it was Saturday against the Chicago Bulls. I did a post game about that. And then Monday, it was against Orlando in the Garden. And then 2 days ago, we beat Toronto in the Garden. So we lost to OKC, Chicago, and Orlando back to back to back. And then there was kind of this little hoopla going on, talking about the Knicks are in trouble. And then Josh Hart also commented on that, talking about his relationship with the refs, which is I've been telling you guys in the post-game analysis videos that I've been doing, in some of the happy hour episodes that Chris, Matt, and I have been doing. I talked about Josh Hart and how he was complaining about the fouls. I mentioned that early on. Some of you guys in the comments were saying, you don't know what you're talking about. But then Josh Hart goes on a roommate show and literally said that he had a conversation with one of the refs and is do the refs don't like me? Is there something about my reputation that's kind of messing things up? Because Josh Hart was getting texts left and right for literally doing nothing. But what do I know? But anyway, excuse me. But But yeah, Josh Hart went on to talk about their 3-game losing streak and what they weren't doing right. And he went to go talk about like just the energy, and they know that they have to play, they got to give it their all every single night. Now, realistically, as a Knicks fan, as a hooper, as a basketball fan, we know that's not possible. They play 82 games. It's impossible to play every single game in the 82 game schedule like it's your last. That's impossible. I never played 82 games in any league in college, Mexico. I never played 82 games. The most I played, I think it was like 45, and even those, I was not every game was like my last. So imagine 82 games. But yeah, I mean, Josh Hart went on to talk about in the Roommate Show how they really gotta switch up their energy. This 2 days ago when they beat the Toronto Raptors, 112-98. I mean, Cat had a good game, 27 points, 9 of 14 from the floor, 3 of 3 from three-point line, converting all 6 of his free throws, grabbing 13 rebounds, 2 assists, three steals, and 2 blocks. So Cat had a really decent game. OG Anunoby had a really good game as well, 27 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point line, 7 of 8 free throws, grabbing 2 rebounds, 2 blocks. Jalen Brunson had 13 points, 5 of 13 from the field, 1 of 4 from three-point line, 2 of 4 from free throws, grabbing 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal. Josh Hart himself, which I led off this video, 21 points, 9 of 14 from the field, 2 of 5 from three-point line, 1 of 2 for the free throws, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. And, of course, something that we got to talk about, the minutes. Mikal Bridges didn't have a great game. It wasn't great. He ended up with 10 points, 4 of 18 from the field, 2 of 11 from three-point line, attempting and converting no free throws, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. But before I get into Mikal, actually, let me just do that right now. I've been saying that I think Christmas, where he had that offensive explosion against Wembanyama and the Spurs, like he had a few decent games. It looked like it was going to be on a consistent basis with Mikal Bridges, which all of us Knicks fans, we love. But then, of course, you got games like this, where he's 4 of 18 from the field, 2 of 11 from three-point line, ending with 10 points. Like, I mean, at this point in the season, the Knicks are 25-13. So that's 38 games. So we're hovering around the halfway mark of the season. So 38 games. I'm not going to say it's halfway through. 38 games. I think it's safe to say that for the first season with the Knicks, for the Mikal Bridges, I think it's safe to say that it's just going to be an up and down season. Hopefully they get a groove, specifically him. Hopefully he finds a groove right around the beginning of the playoffs, like end of March, beginning of April. End of May, beginning of... I got my months messed up. Sorry, guys. But right before the playoffs start, hopefully he gets into a groove and he keeps it consistent. But me personally, I'm kind of expecting just up and down with Mikal Bridges. So now that I gave my 2 cents about that, the minutes, of course, the minutes. We got to talk about the minutes. Mikal Bridges, 36. OG Anunoby, 38. Cat, 34. Jalen Brunson, 35. Josh Hart, 38. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But, again, the bench. Now, off the bench, Precious Achiuwa had the most... Actually, I'm sorry. Landry Shamet had the most minutes off the bench. 21. He ended with 8 points, 4 of 8 from the field, 0 of 3 from three-point line, converting and attempting no free throws, grabbing 2 rebounds, dishing out 1 assist. And I saw a recent quote from Tibbs talking about Landry Shamet. He says that he really likes Landry Shamet because he does things that don't appear on the stat sheet. He knows how to cut when to cut. He has really good communication on the floor. He could bring the ball up. He has really good defensive awareness. And now that Landry Shamet seems like he's over that shoulder injury, it looks like between him and Precious, they're going to be the ones getting the most minutes off the bench. Precious is going to get it by default up until the trade deadline. Hopefully we ship him out. If you guys didn't watch that video about me giving my New Year's resolutions for the Knicks, go watch it. One of them is shipping out Precious Achiuwa, getting a decent big man in return, and or getting key pieces to supply the bench and add that bench, add the bench depth. But yeah, Landry Shamet and Precious Achiuwa, it looks like those two up until the trade deadline. We'll see what happens. Those two are going to be the leading men off the bench, and Landry Shamet led in Wednesday's game with 21 minutes. I gave you his stats. Precious Achiuwa had 15 minutes, converting 6 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 0 of 1 from three-point line, and converting and attempting no free throws. 4 rebounds and 1 assist. So that was Wednesday's game against the Toronto Raptors. It was a good win. It was definitely a much... It wasn't a must-win, not like today's game, in my opinion. If we lost on Toronto, if we lost, I if we lost to Toronto on Wednesday, then the title of this video is "This is a must win." But we ended up getting that W, so we won on a 3-game little losing streak, and we were able to get our confidence back. We were able to get our swag back with the win against Toronto. I remember after we lost on Monday in the Garden to Orlando, I wasn't able to do a post-game analysis because I was at work. Same thing for this game against the Toronto Raptors on Wednesday. But after losing to the Orlando Magic on Monday, that was the third loss in we have 4 days, I think. One Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, that was the third loss in 4 days. And I was ready to do a video about like not hit the panic button. Absolutely not. Don't hit the panic button. But I was like, yo, we got to get things. We got to make sure that we don't let this go on any further. We got to make sure that we need to get this win on Wednesday against the Raptors just to make sure that we smooth things over. And then the New York media, because we all know the media is crazy in New York, which is another reason why I'm surprised that Cat is having the season that he's having. And Cat missed, I believe, Monday's game. I believe he missed Monday's game because there was I know he bumped knees. I just don't know exactly what was the term that they gave. I just wasn't sure what the term that they had for Cat and his knee soreness, maybe knee tendonitis. I don't know what it was, but he missed one game, and that was on a Monday, and it was definitely noted as to why we definitely need to add more big man depth to the team. But yeah, I was ready to make a video talking about like we absolutely need to do something with this roster around trade deadline. I was gonna look at the upcoming games. I was gonna see how we were gonna fare out because I wasn't sure at the time if Cat was gonna be out for like an extended period of time. I don't know if he was gonna be out for a week or a couple of weeks, but he ended up missing one game and then he came back on Wednesday. And even on Wednesday, if you watched Cat, like he was lingering. He was going up and down the floor and he was definitely lingering. Which is I'm surprised that Cat is showing us the type of player that he is. And again, he's changing that narrative around his name that he's not soft. And I saw something else. Michael Wilbon had an interview with Cat and his dad. And Michael Wilbon said that they were nearly in tears talking about how much it means to them. Excuse me, how much it means to them because Cat's mom, rest in peace, wanted Cat to play for the Knicks because Cat's mom, I believe, is from New York, or his mom and dad are from Jersey. It's one of the two. But yeah, his mom, I think, wanted him to play for the Knicks his whole career, and now he's able to do it. So yeah, it just meant a lot to them, and I remember just hearing that, reading that quote from Michael Wilbon when I was going through social media earlier today. But yeah, salute to Cat for all he's doing. But yeah, I mean today, yeah, I mean I'm gonna keep saying it, man. Today is a must-win against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who in the West they are the #1 seed with a record of 30-6. And they have right now, they just lost their most recent game. But Oklahoma City is first in the West with a record of 30-6. And the Houston Rockets are in second, which is surprising. But the Houston Rockets are in second with a record of 25-12. They're 5.5 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. So they separated themselves from the Western Conference. And actually that one loss that they had was actually on Wednesday. I believe it was against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they're actually on a 12-game winning streak. Oh, yeah, now it's coming back to me. I remember seeing the post on social media, ESPN, NBA on ESPN, specifically on Instagram. They were kind of like creating this buzz about two teams that are on winning streaks. Which team is gonna stop their winning streak? And the Cleveland Cavaliers, they beat Oklahoma City Thunder. So now their record is 33-4. The second place in the East is Boston Celtics with a record of 27-10. So the Celtics are 6 games back. The Cleveland Cavaliers, Cleveland. Salute to you. You guys know my stance about Cleveland. I'm not going to believe it until I see it in April. So I'm not going to beat you over the head with it. But salute to you and Kenny Atkinson. There's a clip going around on social media right now. I saw that on X. Kenny Atkinson in practice. My man, salute to you, man. Was it on the New Year's resolutions video where I did the video and I gave you my praise? I was talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers and I just said that the way that the Brooklyn Nets did Kenny Atkinson dirty, it was absolutely blasphemous. And Kenny Atkinson is proving why he's one of the better coaches in the league. But in the clip, they showed him talking in practice, and they specifically showed him talking about that he wants the practices to be hard because if the practices are hard, the games are going to be much easier. And salute to Kenny Atkinson for being able to unlock something with that Cleveland Cavaliers team. I don't know what it was. I don't know if Darius Garland decided. I don't know if a light bulb went off in Darius Garland's head. I don't know if it was Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if it was Evan Mobley. But he's doing something right. So salute to you. But going back to the Oklahoma City Thunder, Yeah, listen, man. SGA is my MVP. SGA is my MVP, and Jalen Brunson. I think he should take this a little personal. Because SGA being in the conversation for the MVP, Jalen Brunson is not having an MVP year. Like I'm not gonna jump off the ledge and say that. But what I want to see from Jalen Brunson, I want to see him kind of take it personal and be like, you guys aren't really talking about me. Not even in the MVP conversations, but you guys aren't talking about me just in general. Whenever the list of the top 10 players, whenever the list of the top 5 point guards in the league, his name is never really brought up. It's always brought up after the fact. So Jalen Brunson, this is a great opportunity for you to go at SGA. Hopefully he plays. I haven't seen anything on the internet, on social media, talking about if Jalen Brunson is questionable or if he's out in today's game. Same thing for Cat. So I don't know. As far as I know, he's playing in today's game. So I want to see Jalen Brunson definitely go at SGA in order to claim his spot, man. Make sure that people know what's going on. For the season, SGA is averaging 31.3 points, 6.1 assists, and 5.6 rebounds. Like, are we serious? Like, this guy is insane. And as far as the volume of shots, so he's making 11 field goals on 21.2 field goal attempts, which equates to 52.2%. 3-pointers has never really been his game, but he's been able to have like a kind of like a DeMar DeRozan type career so far, where he knows that 3-pointers aren't really his game. He can hit it, but he's not depending on it. Which, shout out to you, DeMar. DeMar's nickname that I have for him is not DeMar DeRozan. It's actually the range. Let me know in the comments if you guys like that. The range, because he is, in my opinion, the king of the mid-range. But SGA is having kind of like a similar career as far as like the way they play. They don't rely on a 3-point. They're going to get to their spot, pump fake, pivot, reverse pivot, and SGA is going to get his numbers. But going back to the volume, I gave you his volumes for regular field goals. 3-pointers is 2 3-pointers made this season on 6 3-point attempts. And that equates to 35.5%. So, I know Jokic is having a crazy year. Don't get me wrong, man. Jokic is having an incredible year. Excuse me. Jokic is having an incredible year, but, and I get it, the talent around Jokic, like, he needs to do what he's doing, but I don't want to sound like I'm blaming him for it. Because I am absolutely not. I don't want it to come off like I'm blaming him for having the numbers that he's having. He's doing it, and congratulations to you. But at the same time, like, you're doing everything you're doing everything you can for the Denver Nuggets, and you guys are 4th in the Western Conference, which is crazy. It's definitely crazy. 4th in the Western Conference with a record of 21-15, 9 games back of the first spot. Right now, they're currently on a 1-game winning streak. I mean, the talent that he has around him, and they're in the 4th seed. They're the 4th seed in the West. Salute to you, my guy, again. But in my opinion, like, SGA is OKC. He's in a small market. He's been the best player on the team, and I believe they finished 1st in the Western Conference as well last season. Maybe definitely 1 or 2. They definitely weren't lower than a 2 seed. But SGA, like, he's making people talk about him. And if Jokic wins this season, the MVP, that'll be 4 and 5 years, which is ridiculous. It's going to have him in crazy conversations. But I wholeheartedly believe that SGA deserves that MVP, being the number 1 seed. Now, there are expectations. Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not just giving him his praise. I keep that same energy for everybody. If you're one of the better players in the league, you need to show it. So SGA, if you get your regular season MVP, I'm going to be happy for you. Salute to you. I'm going to congratulate you in everything you do. But once you get that regular season MVP, you can't be getting knocked out in the second round of the playoffs. You need to be making the Western Conference Finals and or the NBA Finals. But this is not an Oklahoma City Thunder YouTube channel. This is a Knicks Digest channel, New York all day, every day. Queens get the money, you heard? But now that I gave my whole spiel about SGA, Jokic, the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, and how this is a must-win, Josh Hart's comments about the energy, about the refs, let's dive into the comments. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Hopefully you guys are not cooking me. I mean, you guys probably are, because I don't know why. But, by the way, this video, we're going to go about tip-off in the East Coast, 4:30. So it's like 4:35. Sorry. Tip-off in the East Coast is 7:30. So that's like 7:35. In my time, it's 4:30. So that's 4:35. So I'm going to go maybe about another half hour-ish, maybe like 35 minutes. But let's see what we got in the comments. So, Redalgado, 99, salute. They're not winning tonight. If they do, then they'll erase the losses to the Hawks and Magic. Tibbs needs to play the bench. And then the comment right before that, Robert Paris, salute. Not a must. Way too early for any must game. Okay. MB, I'm not going to read your comments, but you're funny. Let's see. PD, I have a problem with judging this game with Brunson being in a slump, mainly due to his leg injury. I'm not gonna read the rest of the comment. Okay, cool. So Jalen Brunson is playing through that calf soreness. Okay, cool. I get it. He's not 100%, but if you suit up, my guy. You're suiting up. You're putting yourself on the court. And I don't care about all the teams that I don't care about the health team that the Knicks have talking about, oh, you shouldn't play because with these stats and these statistics. No, I'm old school, baby. If you're gonna put on the uniform and if you tell everybody, if you tell your coach, if you tell the assistant coaches, if you tell the health team that I'm ready to go and I'm playing, you're making that decision to go out there. So if you make a decision to go out there, then give it your all and go up against one of the better players in the league and show everybody why you deserve to be in the conversation. Enough said. Next, let's see. You guys are funny, man. You guys are making fun of my mustache. I like my mustache. I like it. But whatever. PD. Tibbs needs to just keep getting Kolek the second unit minutes so Kolek can get them going. Are you serious right now? With Tyler Kolek? Are you serious? Tyler Kolek is a rookie, and he looks like literally somebody off the block at the park that I could just go pick on. Like, no, stop. Tyler Kolek is a rookie. I talked about him numerous times. I love his feel for the game. And it looks like if he's able to stay healthy, put some weight on him, hopefully he grows. But it looks like he could have a long NBA career. I don't know about a starter, but definitely a solid backup. And yeah, that's that. But as far as like getting Kolek minutes, nah, bro, he's a rookie, man. He needs to sit on the bench, learn as much as he can, and then whatever he learns, try to implement that in the game because he's not going to beat anybody off the dribble with his athleticism, with his skills right now. Maybe he'll develop more skills as his career goes on, hopefully. But as of right now, no, he's at such a disadvantage. And if you want to give Jalen Brunson just a break to catch his breath, and during the regular season, I must preface this, during the regular season, if you want to give Kolek minutes to give Jalen Brunson rest and just get his breath, that's fine. In the playoffs, it's a different situation. I'd rather have Deuce, Landry Shamet, and then Campaign than Tyler Kolek. So enough about that. Alonzo Carter, must win already. Shaking my head. Love putting pressure on people. Listen, I've also seen some comments before Alonzo Carter. First and foremost, salute to you. But before Alonzo Carter, I saw a couple comments talking about this is not a must-win. I am talking about it. I'm talking about it from the perspective of only literally the matchup against OKC. I'm not talking about it from the perspective as a whole, as an NBA win. I am talking about that competitive edge, that mental edge that you might have going up against one of, if not the best team in the league. We already lost to them in OKC last Friday. The Knicks, halfway, 38 games, but kind of halfway through the season. The Knicks are talking about one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks are talked about as one of the better teams in the league. If you are one of the better teams in the league, when you go up against other teams that are really good in the league, you need to try and hit them, smack them in the mouth. You need to let them know that, yo, we're here, we're serious. You actually might, if it's a Western Conference team, you actually might end up seeing us in June in the finals. So that's kind of the perspective that I'm coming from. I'm not talking about as an NBA schedule whole. It's only 38 games, and we're 25 and 13, man. Like we're good. We're a lot better than I was expecting. I was actually expecting us to be around the 500 mark, like 22 and 22 or something like that. Honestly, just with the chemistry and meshing everybody, and I wasn't sure how Cat was gonna play, but whatever. But yeah, I'm talking about it from the perspective of just going at some other team, going at one of the better teams in the league, smack them in the mouth, let them know we're here. That's what I'm talking about. Hopefully you guys actually comment on that and not just hate on what I'm saying. But let's get back into the comments. Let's see. Redalgado, 99. OKC plays their bench. Tibbs doesn't play his bench. We 7 against 12. Not happening. Yeah, I mean, That's something that we all preface on all the videos that we come out with. Just bench Tibbs not relying on his bench. Um, I don't know, man. Like I'm interested to see just like how we look as far as like a unit in like March, April. Actually, like the middle of March. I wanted to see if Jalen Brunson is still gonna have. There's still gonna be reports about Jalen Brunson fighting through this his calf, not injury, calf soreness. I keep having that brain for it whenever I talk about the calf injury with just calf soreness that he's playing through. But I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what the team looks like around mid-March when Mitchell Robinson is supposed to be back, Jalen Brunson, Cat, Mikal Bridges, OG, Josh Hart, everybody. Like everybody is supposed to be clicking on all cylinders, and hopefully we're not gonna have any hiccups as far as like, oh, this player is battling through this, and then this player is battling through that. And if they are battling through it at that moment in time, I hate to say it, man, but you guys might have a point that Tibbs not playing his bench and playing Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Cat, Jalen Brunson, OG, playing them anywhere between 37 minutes and up in a game that's January 8th. Like, I get it, man. I get it. So we'll see what happens. But going back into the comments, let's see what else. PD, SGA is the MVP of what? December? Nah, PG. SGA is my MVP of the league. You heard? I'm going to keep it moving. Wiz BK LA, salute. Both Deuce and Cat are game time decision today. Brunson looks a little off physically, so this is not a good assessment of who we are. I get that. I get it. But at the same time, like, I don't want to, I'm not using that as an excuse. Like I said it earlier, if you put the uniform on and you want to perform and you put yourself on the court, perform. No excuses. PD, Brunson always starts going February to June. I like that. A little projection there, but I like that. So Brunson always starts going in February. I mean, yeah, I mean, we've all said it. Everybody here at Knicks Digest, we've said it that Brunson, he typically has his slow starts. I mean, this year might be a little different because we're in January. In the past with Brunson, I feel like it was November and most of maybe like halfway through December, or maybe even the first like week of December, where Brunson was actually slow to start. This year is a little different because Brunson he's still. Yeah, you can say that he's having a slow start, but now we're in January. So it's like, is this a slow start or is Brunson just having a difficult season? So that's always interesting to me. You guys are saying that he has a bad calf. Okay, I get it, but you're putting yourself on the court, man. Don't get mad at me for me just stating facts, yo. I'm stating facts. Brunson is putting himself on the court. That's it. No excuses. And everybody, we're from New York. We don't make excuses, right? Let's go, man. Come on. New York or nowhere, you heard? Yo, you guys are my mustache. That's freaking hilarious. Rodagaldo 99. Cat is limping. We have no bench producing points. We need points, and Tibbs plays Sims over Huck Porty. Tibbs playing chess without using his pawns. Yo, Rodagaldo 99. You brought me something. You brought to my attention something that I wanted to see. I'm pretty sure it was Monday against the Orlando Magic. I saw a lineup where Precious Achiuwa and Jericho Sims were in at the same time. It was not garbage minutes. It was maybe in the second quarter. I don't care who was involved with that decision. I'm going to make Leon Rose or Worldwide West hire me for a day so I can fire everybody on the staff that was a part of that decision. I don't care if it was Tibbs. I don't care if it was Tibbs' mom. I don't care if it was Tibbs' father. I don't care who it was. Who had an input on that decision, having Precious Achiuwa and Jericho Sims on the floor at the same time, they need to be fired. I never want to see that ugliness. I never want to see that nasty work ever again in my life. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Moving on. Let's go. PD, feels like Stephen A talking. Brunson is playing hurt. All his shots are short. Yo, PD, salute to you, yo. If I'm Stephen A, one of my favorite analysis. Stephen A, one of my favorite analysis. One of my favorite just talking head guys. And Stephen A. If I give you Stephen A vibes, salute. Let's see. Give me a second. Yo, some of your comments about mustache is hilarious. I ain't gonna hold you. AJ knows boxing, baby. Precious has to pass the ball instead of trying to bring the ball up the court. Should I even? That's the question. And my answer is no. PD, this ain't the Marines. You suit up doesn't mean you can be your necessary 100%. True. This is very true. I like that point. I like that point a lot. You're right. Just because you suit up doesn't mean that you're going to be able to give your 100%. But if you suit up, there should be no excuses as to why you're playing. There should be no excuses as to why you put yourself out there. You made the decision. You made the decision to go play. Enough said. Let's see. Rida Galdo. Kolek was MVP in the G League championship. Play the man. You saying the same about him that they say about Brunson. Yo, come on, man. Come on. Let's keep... Come on, guys. You guys are not keeping 100. Kolek was the MVP of the G League. The talent in the G League is... Are you kidding me? It's considerably different. Like, why are you guys bringing up these facts that are not going to hold true? They're not going to hold water. Come on, man. Let's see. AJ knows boxing, baby. I agree. We have to send a message to the NBA that we are a serious team. AJ knows boxing, baby. Salute to you agreeing with me and not going against the grain. Let's see what else. Magnum Boom. OKC has been a better team all season. We aren't in a position to say this is a must-win. 100% OKC has been the better team all season. But again, I am not talking about the perspective of an NBA schedule overall. I'm not saying that's a must-win. I'm talking about just head-to-head against the Oklahoma City Thunder, head-to-head going up against one of the better teams in the league. We need to send them a message. That's what I mean as a must-win. So that's what I meant. Let's see. PD, all of Brunson's shots are short. Free throws are short. Truth is truth. All right. Nice. Please have Cat shooting more threes than Brunson and Bridges. I need the big bodega showing up tonight. Major pause. And let's go, Knicks. Yo, literally your YouTube handle is nice. So that's all I could call you. But big pause on that. Second of all, you want Cat shooting more threes than Brunson and Bridges. I get it, man. Cat he's a good shooter. He's a good three-point shooter. I just don't want him shooting more than 8. And if he shoots 9, that's like the most leeway I'll give him. I'm not going to give him any more leeway than 9. Sometimes I feel like he falls in love with that three-point shot a little bit too much. But if he's anywhere from the 8, preferably 8, but if he stretches it out, pause, to 9, then it's okay. But just wanted to give my 2 cents about that. Let's see. Going back into the comments. MB, if this guy ever ends up on ESPN, they'll be like, and now here's Dariel to roll his eyes. Yo, MB, salute to you for even thinking of me being on ESPN, which I appreciate because I would love that. Somehow, Stephen A., anybody watching this, don't know if anybody's watching this, but somehow I would love an opportunity. Salute. Next. Let's see. God, you guys are my mustache, yo. Insane. Dorkasaurus _ Rex. Biggest W or most instructive L coming? Incoming. I like the way you put that. If we win, it's going to be a really big W. It's going to tell us something about our team. And if we lose, it's going to be an instructive L. I really like the way you put that. So I wanted to give you a nice shout out. PD, are you saying Kolek couldn't play against Cole Anthony? Come on, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not yet. Not right now. Not right now. No, as much hate. And Cole Anthony. Shout out Cole Anthony, New Yorker, all day, every day. I'm always gonna rep for my New Yorkers. But as far as right now, Kolek Anthony going against Kolek Anthony. Wow, I just caught myself. Tyler Kolek going up against Cole Anthony. He's gonna get smoked. He's gonna get smoked. Let's keep it a buck. Cole Anthony has how many seasons in the league? This might be his 4th. And he was a starting point guard at one point. Right now, he's a backup point guard. His athleticism is way better than Tyler Kolek's. His speed. He just has more knowledge of the game because he's been through it. Like, yo, let's keep it a buck. Come on, guys. You guys are smarter than this. Come on. Cole Anthony would absolutely smoke Tyler Kolek. Come on now. Moving on. Let's see. Whoa, Wiz BKLA. How many inexperienced coaching mistakes does Tibbs have to make every other game before his cult acknowledge his flaws? He, as well as former coaches / analysts, point them out, so it's not just fanatics. Okay. All right. We got a Tibbs critiquer in the building, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at critiquing people. Let's see. Next up. Knicks 100 AGM. Firing him would not be wise. That black cloud would return instantly over this franchise. Obviously, you guys got to be talking about Tibbs. This brings up an interesting point. I was actually thinking about this. Is Tibbs the man to bring us over the edge? This is why this season is important. It's important because we finally amassed the talent that we need. You guys got to agree with me on this. You guys have to agree with me on this. If everybody's healthy, obviously Mitchell Robinson, the biggest question. If everybody's healthy, we have to make the Eastern Conference Finals. Hopefully you guys can agree on that. Hopefully you guys don't cut on my mustache and actually get past that. Agree with me on that we need to make the Eastern Conference Finals a minimum. Now, to build upon that, we need, with the talent that we have amassed, with Cat playing the way he's playing right now, there should be no excuse as to why he's not going to play like this in the playoffs. No excuse. I don't want to hear it. Cat should be playing like this. He should be not dominating, but he should be putting up stellar numbers in the playoffs. So if Cat is putting up stellar numbers in the playoffs, if Brunson is playing like he always does because it's big Brunson, Brunts him, we should make it a competitive series against the Boston Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers. I obviously don't know who's going to be. But with the talent that we've amassed and everybody playing, Cat finally being able to get over the hump as far as his narrative being soft and don't know if he's a good player, all that stuff. We at least need to make the Eastern Conference Finals. In my opinion, I think it needs to be at least a minimum. If we lose 6 games, I think we can take Boston to 6. Cleveland Cavaliers, I think we can beat them. But if we lose by some way, somehow, it needs to be at least in 6. That's getting really, really in depth and really getting, like I said, in depth about how far we can go into this season. But bringing it back to Tibbs, with the amount of talent that we have amassed, everybody being healthy, I still have questions if Tibbs is going to be the guy to lead us to the promised land. And what does the promised land look like? As far as a Knicks franchise, at this point, Jalen Brunson, the first 2 seasons out of his this is his 3rd year with the Knicks. His first 2 seasons, he's been able to get us to the 2nd round of the playoffs. So before Jalen Brunson got here and after the Melo experiment, I think the promised land looked like, get us back into the playoffs. Jalen Brunson has succeeded at. Check that box off. So now that we made the playoffs, now that we made the 2nd round of the playoffs, the last 2 seasons in a row, being led by Jalen Brunson, now I think the promised land, it's been accelerated. Now it needs to go from just make the playoffs, and now it needs to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't know if Tibbs is that guy, and it's going to be very interesting to see, depending on the matchups that we get, it's going to be very interesting to see what he does, who he's really going to rely on after the starting five. The starting five in the playoffs, they're playing 48 minutes a minimum. We all know that. But it's going to be very interesting to see who he relies on. A Landry Shamet, a Campaign, a Deuce, Precious if he's still here. And we also got to talk about Coach Tibbs' coaching history. He was with the Chicago Bulls all that time. The only Eastern Conference Finals appearance he made was with Derrick Rose when he won the MVP and they lost in 5 games to the Heatles, Miami Heat, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. And then, of course, after that, Derrick Rose knee injuries, not even knee injuries, Derrick Rose injuries itself just completely depleted that team and the hopes and dreams of what that team could be. I think if Derrick Rose was actually able to have a healthy 7 to 8 years, don't give me 20 years like LeBron because that's alien-like. That's like once maybe in a lifetime that we're going to see that. But give me like a good 7 to 8 years of Derrick Rose, no injuries. I think Derrick Rose actually has 1 championship. I think Derrick Rose has at least another MVP. And that was supposed to be the team to go up against the Heatles. But then, like I said, Derrick Rose and all his injuries completely derailed all that. But going back to Tibbs, he has 1 Eastern Conference Finals appearance. And then before he got to Minnesota, yes, Derrick Rose injuries completely just derailed the direction of the Chicago Bulls. They were still competitive, but it just wasn't the same. Derrick Rose wasn't the same player because of all his injuries. The athleticism diminished. I do remember Joakim Noah had I think one season he ended up being 3rd in MVP voting. I forgot what season it was, but Joakim Noah was looking like prime Larry Bird, like getting the ball at the top of the key, being able to make plays, backdoor cuts, the threading the needle. Like there were Joakim Noah in that one season. Like I didn't know he was that type of player. But anyways, so after he left the Chicago Bulls, then he gets to Minnesota. Minnesota, I think he was there for like 3 seasons, and I think he had 1 playoff appearance where they lost in the first round against the Houston Rockets. Cat and Kit Tibbs, they've talked about that a lot. They both talked about how they've both grown since that time. And Cat has admitted that he did some things that was a sign of immaturity. But so Chicago Bulls won Eastern Conference Finals appearance. They lost in 5, and then they never got back to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then he goes to Minnesota. He was there for about 3 years, 1 playoff appearance, and he lost in 5 games in the first round. Then he comes to the Knicks. The first year, I think they were bad. And then the second year, I think it was when they made the playoffs, his second year, and we lost in the first round to the Atlanta Hawks in 5 games. And that whole Julius Randle narrative started. So then, make it to the playoffs, we lose in the first round. The year after that, we don't make it to the playoffs. That's that weird Julius Randle season where he hates the fans, and the fans have a weird relationship with him. And then after that, then that's Jalen Brunson's, I believe, first season. We make it to the second round of the playoffs. We get eliminated by who was it? The second round. It was Miami. Yeah, it was Miami. And then it was last season where we get to the second round and we get eliminated by the Indiana Pacers, but we absolutely look like zombies out there. I'm just saying, man, I'm just looking back at Coach Tibbs' coaching career, and it's going to be very interesting to see where we land at the end of the season. So I forgot who brought it up. I think it was Knicks 100 or GM. Thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, let me go back into the comments and see what we're doing. Let me see what we doing. Holla at me. Let's see. Dorkasaurus _Rex. The plus minus for Jericho Sims and Precious Achiuwa were good last season, but it's obviously a terrible lineup. That's last season. Please stop. Thank you. Knicks 100 to GM. None of this championship talk is possible without Tibbs. Okay. You guys are stupid. Knicks 100 to GM. We are an ungrateful fan base. Why are we ungrateful if I'm just critiquing? Why am I ungrateful for putting things out there that people don't want to talk about? Let's go, baby. We from New York. We are comfortable and being uncomfortable. You heard? Let's get back into the comments. WizBKLA. Very few are saying fire Tibbs, but losing in the second round or earlier in 16 years of head coaching is not winning to me. Knicks 100 a GM. I wanted Mark Jackson. I should say that like Stephen A. Mark Jackson. I wanted Mark Jackson, not Tibbs. Yeah, it's still weird why Mark Jackson still doesn't have a job. Like, that's crazy. Oh my God, you guys are stupid. PD, Tibbs isn't resourceful enough and lacks in-game coaching to be a championship coach. Interesting. Knicks 100 a GM. Again, yo, salute to you because a lot of your comments are really good. I like going off of your comments because it gets me to think. But I can't just ignore Tibbs bringing us up out the ashes of the NBA dungeon. Yeah, I'm definitely. Tibbs definitely deserves his flowers. It's definitely not all on Tibbs, though. We also got to give our love to Julius Randle. Let's give our love to Julius Randle, man. Julius Randle was a part of the reason why we were able. Julius Randle took that next step in his career. And as much as I didn't like him being our best player on the team, and I think that's fair, Julius Randle has some hitches in his game, specifically that jump shot. I feel like if he's able to develop with a consistent jump shot, that's going to unlock more of his game. But we got to give love to Julius Randle, man. Julius Randle was able to take that next step in his career, and he was able to at least lead us prior to Jalen Brunson getting there. He was able to at least lead us to a playoff appearance. So I don't think it's solely on Tibbs. It's definitely a mixture between Randle and Tibbs. And also, I think the season before Julius Randle's last season with us, I think he made an All-NBA team, or was it an All-Star team? 3 out of the 4 years. Like, let's show some love to Julius Randle. Don't really know what's going on with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Don't really follow them. But hopefully the Minnesota Timberwolves fan base, they actually are just growing to like him. Let's see what else. Galdo 99. The Knicks top 7 lineups play the most minutes out of the top 10 in the league. Tibbs running them into the ground. They are human. Don't forget D Rose playing garbage time when we got hurt. Knicks 100 a GM. Who cares? We are back in the spotlight. Seems like you guys are having a conversation amongst yourselves, which I love that. Let's see. Oh my God. Listen, man. 90s R&B. I'm gonna get a little personal. 90s R&B is the best R&B of all time. Just to give you a little bit of my flavor, we got Mary J, we got Silk, we got H-Town. I'm not even talking about the heavy hitters. Besides Mary J, they're not even the heavy hitters. H-Town, Silk, LSG. Like, come on, bro. We got a young Brandy. We got a young Monica. Come on, are you kidding me? Stop. 90s R&B is undefeated. Anyways. Knicks 100 a GM. Tibbs earned the right to walk away when he feels. Back-to-back comments. Once again, I repeat, we are an ungrateful fan base. Oh, my God. Whatever. PD. Honestly, have we ever seen Tibbs coach us to a win through in-game strategy? I have not. I'm just bringing up facts, baby. I'm bringing up facts. I like you guys to talk about it. I'm bringing up facts. I like to get the Knicks fan base just questioning things. I'm not saying Coach Tibbs is a bad coach. I'm just saying these are things that we should just be throwing it out into the atmosphere. Is Tibbs a good in-game? Is he an in-game? Damn, why can't I think? Is Coach Tibbs a good in-game adjuster? I'm not sure if we can say that. Coach Tibbs has a very old school mindset that this is his philosophy on defense, on offense, and we're gonna ram that through the floor. And we haven't really seen him be a really good adjuster, man. Let's see. Yo, some of these comments are hilarious. Soul Snatcher 61. This is kind of random. So Brunson is our Tatum. Cat is our Porzingis. Who is our ew? No, stop. Cat is not our Porzingis. Cat, if you want to say Brunson is our Jalen Brown or Jason Tatum, fine. If Brunson is your Jalen Brown, Cat is your Jason Tatum. If Cat is your Jalen Brown, Brunson is our Jason Tatum. Whatever. But Cat is not Porzingis. Stop. That's blasphemy. That is blasphemy. Porzingis never. No, stop. Porzingis can't even play a week. He's right behind. He's in the same limo as Kawhi Leonard. Stop. What else we got? Let's see. Isaiah Hernandez. Tibbs won a ring in '08. Yeah, with Doc being the head defensive coach for the Boston Celtics. Salute to Coach Tibbs for getting that ring. But he didn't do it as a main coach. Let's see. Oh my God, you guys are my mustache. A little too much. Redalgado 99. Some Julius Randle love. Let's show Julius Randle love. I love it. Julius Randle is a 3-time All-Star, All-NBA, and he's better than 80% of NBA players. I'm not mad at that. Dwayne Lewis. I think he's responding to Knicks 100 AGM when he said we are an ungrateful fan base. We are a fan base that's aware. Tibbs lacks strategy and foresight. I'm not mad at that. Dwayne Lewis, I'm not mad at that. I like questioning it, baby. I like questioning it. Sometimes I can't talk. Verdalgado 99. 90s R&B produced a population explosion. Big facts. Moving on. God, oh my God. Dwayne Lewis. Depth is created by playing and gaining experience. That's a fact. And Tibbs is not doing that. He's not giving Tyler Kolek. He's not giving Jericho Sims. He's kind of a lost cause. He's not giving the players the time that they need in order to produce when we need them. Vidalgado 99. Porzingis can't smell cat. That's a fact. Please don't ever compare Cat and Porzingis. That's a abomination. Please. Cat at least is available. Porzingis is available, once every other 2 seasons? Stop. 408. I'm going to go for 5 more minutes, guys. Let's go for 5 more minutes. And then I'm going to call it a wrap because you got to get ready. Got to get ready for this game, baby. Go for 5 more minutes. We're going to go until 7:15, which is 4:15 my time. Nah, I'm going to let that go. All right. As you guys keep going in the chat, I want to look up the schedule. I want to look up the Knicks schedule after today's game. Give me a second. Okay, so it looks like after today's game, we got the Milwaukee Bucks on Sunday in the Garden. Ever since they won the NBA Cup, I know they've been hovering around 500. I don't know exactly what the record is right now. Actually, I have the thing up right now. Let me just look at it. Their record right now, they are 5th in the East with a record of 19-16. They've won their last 2 games. Great, but I still don't believe in the Damian Giannis thing. Whatever. So Bucks and Knicks on Sunday at the Garden. And then after that, it's a back-to-back. And then Monday, we're going to have another game at the Garden with Detroit. They're not scary, but they're a sleeper team. They're a lot better than they were last year. Cade Cunningham is finally looking like the number 1 pick. It could be an L. It could be an L. That's all I'll say. It could be an L. Prayers for Jaden Ivey. He tore a ligament in his knee. I think it was his MCL, not his ACL, but I think it was his MCL. And he was having a really good year, breakout season. And unfortunately, injuries are a part of the game. So Jaden Ivey, salute to you. Hopefully, you have a healthy and speedy recovery. So Bucks on Sunday, Pistons on Monday, and then on Wednesday we actually go to Philadelphia and we play. I don't know exactly what they're doing as well. I don't know I don't know how they're playing, I should say. Philadelphia 76ers right now, they are in the 11th seed with a record of 15-20, and they won their last game. It should be a win, but at the same time, you do have talent. And I don't know if this falls on one of the back-to-back nights with Joel Embiid because there's that thing. So I don't know. The Philadelphia 76ers are definitely a weird team to kind of gauge and try to give an analysis. I can't say it should. I can't say it should be a win because even if Joel Embiid doesn't play, Tyrese Maxey is a killer. Paul George he's a decent NBA player. Like, and he could have a good night. So I can't even say that's a W. So after the 76ers, then next Friday, then we're gonna be at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we got Ant-Man coming into the Garden. That should be exciting. Okay, so after today's game, we got Milwaukee Bucks, we got the Detroit Pistons, we got the Philadelphia 76ers, and we got the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Milwaukee Bucks, that should be a W. I don't care. That's 1-0. Detroit Pistons, I'm going to go with a W, even though I could see a loss, but I'm going to lean more on the W. 2-0. Philadelphia 76ers, I'm going with a W because the Philadelphia 76ers, they just have too much noise going on around them. I'm going with a W. 3-0. Minnesota Timberwolves. Damn, Ant-Man is scary, though. Ant-Man is scary, man. Ant-Man is just scary. Right now, they're in the 7th seed with a record of 20-17. They won their last 3 games. They're on a 3-game winning streak. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Just the implementation. Is that a word? Whatever. Implementing Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. Yeah, I mean, as a Knicks fan, we knew Julius Randle and his hiccups with the Knicks, so we knew that it wasn't going to be an easy transition for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that's why they are where they are. Last season, I'm pretty sure they were like top 3 in the West at this time, but it's not a surprise to me as to where they are. But is that going to be a win? You don't know. I'm going to go an L because I don't see us going 4-0 in the next after today's game. I don't see us going 4-0. No, so if any of those 3 games, I could see the Philadelphia 76ers. Damn, besides the Bucks is the only guaranteed win that I see us having. Honestly, that's how much I think of the Milwaukee Bucks. I have better respect for the Detroit Pistons than the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks 100%, it should be a W. It should be 1-0. Detroit Pistons, I could see us taking an L, but I'm gonna go with a W. 2-0. The Philadelphia 76ers, I could see us getting an L. But I could say 2-1, but I'm gonna go 3-0. And then the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm gonna go with an L, so I'm gonna go 3-1. 3-1 in the next 5 games. I'm gonna look at the comments. This is the last time I'm gonna go into the comments. And then after that, I'm gonna wrap it up on this live. Let's see what you guys are gonna say, besides anything about my mustache. Let's see. PD, has Tibbs ever been seen coaching up his bench guys when they're playing, or does he just curse about the mistakes? Facts. I brought this up many times. I brought this up saying that whenever Jericho Sims gets in the game, it's always looking like he's playing to not make a mistake instead of playing. He causes a turnover, he's automatically looking at Coach Tibbs with his head down. And I don't know. Sorry, I had a little neck thing. But I don't know. Coach Tibbs, sometimes he gives me that type of energy that he's like, as soon as you make one little mistake, he's on your ass and he's just like yelling at you. That's something that I'm not a big fan of. Dwayne Lewis, today's game is an opportunity to put the association on notice. But honestly, time is ticking. If trades aren't the plan, they need to happen for cohesion purposes. I mean, that's what I led off today's video with. Whatever. Soul Snatcher 61. Cleveland plays 11 guys. Knicks plays 7 guys. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Ooh. Delgado 99. Paul George and Jimmy Butler are the same. Fool's gold. I mean, I don't know. I can't really put Jimmy Butler in that position. I mean, I can't really put him in that bucket because Jimmy Butler has 2 finals appearances. Paul George got nothing. They're not really fool's gold. Jimmy Butler, he can get you to the promised land. I don't know if he's going to be able to get you over the hump, but he can get you there. And there's no rebuttal to that. Jimmy Butler has done it twice. The bubble and in the finals against the Denver Nuggets. There's no excuses. Jimmy Butler, you cannot put in the same conversation with Paul George. Jimmy Butler gets it done. I'm sorry to see what they're going through in Miami. I'm very interested to see where Jimmy Butler actually lands. Golden State, that could be interesting. Dallas, the Lakers, I don't know. But guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for engaging with me. Some of you, thank you for agreeing with me that today is a must win. But until next time, you guys know the drill. You guys know the vibes. I'm not even going to give you the outro because I know you guys are avid watchers of the Knicks Digest channel, so you guys know the outro. But until next time, I'm going to check you on the next video. Let's get this W. Jalen Brunson, hopefully your calf is not as sore. Hopefully you could drop a 40 ball on SGA. Let's let everybody know why you should be in the conversation for best players in the league, for best point guards in the league. Let's go, baby. New York or nowhere. Queens get the money. Grrr. I'm out. Peace.